Hello, everyone. Welcome to our The Future of Work Strategies for Tomorrow's Success Meetup, where we focus on the latest HR tech and the talent management technology trends and innovations. Thank you all for joining us today. My name is Elif Gözen, and I'm a partner success manager at the Plug and Play Istanbul office. This meetup is a unique opportunity to gain important knowledge and insights into the rapidly evolving landscape of work and talent with presentations from top-tier startups and inspirational keynote speech and a panel discussion. Without further ado, I want to invite our country and regional director, Lale Gözübüyük, to give her welcome speech. Lale?
Well, thank you so much, Elif. Thanks everyone for being here, and thanks for the introduction again, Elif. My name is Lale Gözübüyük. I lead Plug and Play Turkey's operation, and as Elif has rightly said, I'm a regional director at Plug and Play's EMEA region. Well, to quickly dive into the subject, the theme of today's meetup, as Elif has rightly mentioned, is the future of work. With no absolute exaggeration, pretty much everything around us is being disrupted by what we call digitalization. I mean, the workplace and human resources are not an exception to that, for sure. Today, what we'll do is we will explore the trends in HR tech through our corporate partner, Energisa's lens. And in fact, today we're co-hosting this event with our founding anchor partner in smart cities, Energisa. And we will explore some sub-areas such as, data-driven decision-making and AI reporting, recruitment systems, employee engagement tools, and, learning management systems. If you have been to some of our prior events, some of our prior meetup days or focus weeks, the format is pretty much similar. You'll be familiar with it, and there'll be some top-tier startups from all around the world. They'll present their technologies and know-how. We will have some insightful keynote speech, and then we'll also have an expert panel discussion. You guys already have a great idea about Plug and Play. We've been around for 3 years locally in the country. Now it's going to be exactly 3 years in next January. So yeah, we've done pretty okay so far. And we, as you know us, we believe in the power of our extensive network. We do utilize that network to help corporates in our local country. Also, we help startups through, again, utilizing the network. We have partnered with over 600 well-known corporates from all around the world. We operate in almost 60 offices, again, in all around the world. We have worked with more than 200 investors. Also, we follow closely. We log into our systems. I guess more than 70,000 startups right now. Again, they're all around the world. So if you're a stakeholder that has some interest in innovation, feel free to contact with us. Basically, I can say a lot of things about Plug and Play, but you please feel free to join our YouTube channel or feel free to contact us to get more information. That's all I have to say today. I hope you have an informative and enjoyable meetup day. Now I'll pass the stage to Yakup Aydilek, Head of People and Culture at Enerjisa, who will also welcome you as the co-host of this meetup day.
Okay, thank you very much, Lale, for your speech. Dear participants, valued partners, and fellow innovators, I am Yakup Aydilek, the Chief People and Culture Officer at Enerjisa, and it's my honor to welcome you all. Today, I'm excited to talk about not just the future of work, but how we are actively shaping it with our innovative spirit. Enerjisa stands at the forefront of Turkey's energy sector, not just for today, but for the future we envision. My journey from early days at Deloitte to my master's degree at Paris Panthéon-Sorbonne reinforced a key belief. Change is constant, and embracing it is not just an option, but a necessity. Until today, we have teamed up with 28 startups and invested in 15 of them among initiatives like our NAR program and partnerships with firms like RevoCapital. These collaborations are more than transactions, they are our commitment to a tech-driven future. Adapting to the future means rethinking work. We have dived into smart working models, mental and physical health, and flexible workforce among several workshops with our employees and colleagues. Our main focus is nurturing our employees' needs and ensuring they are ready and resilient for upcoming future and tomorrow. Also, our approach to health is holistic as well. In 2022, we established Enerjisa Esports and Sports Club, and with these teams, we have won 271 medals among domestic and global tournaments. We also support mental and physical well-being with classes in yoga, mindfulness, and Pilates, and so on. These are not just activities, they are our commitment to our health and our teams and colleagues' holistic well-being. Digitalization is key in today's world. Our HR Connect project and Metaverse initiative in the Metaverse are transforming how we grow and learn. Our in-house HR app, Icon, streamlines processes and boosts engagement, proving that technology and human touch can coexist in a perfect manner. Finally, our first spin-off, Miote, is an industrial predictive maintenance solution and born from our own entrepreneurship program, NAR, which symbolizes that our ability to turn ideas into reality is not just an innovation, it's a testament to our practical and impactful approach to change. In closing, I want to underline that Enerjisa is not just supporting the startup ecosystem, we are actively crafting a human and high-tech focused future with our innovative ideas. I look forward to work together towards this bright and exciting future. Thank you for your participation.
Thank you very much, Yakup, for this insightful welcome speech, and Icon seems to be very useful and interesting application. As we are moving to our next agenda item, I would like to introduce our guest speaker, Benjamin Pieck. He is a Director of Employee Experience at ESPRIT. With over 20 years of experience in HR industries, Benjamin is a highly respected figure who has made significant contributions to the field. In the fast-changing world of work, HR professionals and departments are facing very different challenges. The need to adapt to new technologies, shifting employee expectations, and increasing demand for flexible working arrangements sometimes can be exhausting. Benjamin's mission is to empower and support HR professionals in navigating these challenges and staying ahead of the curve. Let's listen to Benjamin's presentation and his important insight first. Hello, Benjamin. You are welcome to our Focus Week. Please go ahead and share your screen.
Perfect. So thank you so much for having me today. I really feel really honored to be part of that presentation today, to be part of the event today. The introduction already was terrific. Thank you so much. So my big topic that I brought to you guys today is how to transform HR for the future of work. And what I want to tell you, or what I brought you today in that 10 minutes, because that 10 minutes, it's really quite short for that topic, is some insights from my personal journey as part of a corporate, because as you already heard, I'm the director employee experience for a big fashion company called ESPRIT, but also from the other part of my world, because I used to be and I'm still a startup founder in the HR tech world. So I think this is combining the both worlds together to give you the best insights that you could have for the future of work. So let's directly start with that. And I want to give you a short overview in a nutshell about my journey, about my personal journey with the future of HR and HR in general. I started my journey back in 2014, directly after my studies. I studied psychology in Frankfurt. I'm based in Germany, in Düsseldorf right now. And directly after my studies, I decided to do something special for my expertise, psychology, because that is not a typical study for being an entrepreneur after that. And I decided to be brave and to start my own startup, which was called Matching Box. And Matching Box was an AI-based matching platform that measured the cultural fit on the basis of algorithms, modern algorithms, in the recruiting process. So our biggest idea was to shorten the gap between employers and candidates, and to do that on a, let's say, soft-skilled base. That was the idea of Matching Box. I did that for 7 years, and my touch point actually to Plug and Play is that we have been part of the Plug and Play program in Germany in 2015 or 16 in Stuttgart, part of the startup Autobahn in Stuttgart. So this was my direct touch point to Plug and Play. And that was, to be honest, maybe one of the best times in my life. We did that for 7 years. We won several very famous HR awards, like the HR Excellence Award in 2017, or the HR Award in Vienna in Austria in 2018. And that was really a very good time for us. We took some bigger steps in our journey. But then the coronavirus and the pandemic really hit us really hard. And I decided suddenly to sell my shares and to separate ways with my startup, and to have an insight on the other side of the world, on the corporate side. So I decided to join ESPRIT in 2020 as director employee experience. But my passion was always and still is HR transformation, because I'm really convinced that transforming HR departments really mean being better prepared for the challenges that the future of work is holding for us, and giving, or let's say, dive in a little bit more into a data-driven mindset in this field. So this is my big passion. I do that with a lot of different companies all over the world. We do different transformation programs. We do consultancy, coachings, and so on, just to be better prepared for these challenges. And my last little project, I would say, is Talents. And Talents is a coaching platform for career orientation and succession planning purposes, especially for young talents, but also for people that are maybe stuck in their careers for 10 or 15 years in their careers, and which are really looking for another career opportunity after, let's say, 10 to 15, 20 years in one career path. So this is the basic idea of Talents. And as you can see, this is a very short overview about what I did in the last 10 years. And when we talk about future of work, actually, we have to talk first about the question, what is the future of work, and what means the future of work in the perspective of HR? What means the future of work for us, for HR professionals, and people that are interested in HR topics? So what I discovered in the last, let's say, 10 years is a big transformation in HR. So when we talk about my early days in HR, I discovered the biggest challenge in HR, and maybe still is for some of the companies, recruiting. Recruiting is one of the biggest challenges. Why? Because we see that shift from an employer market to a hard contested applicant market. And this is what we see when we see job selling activities. So a lot of employers are putting a lot of investments, a lot of budgets into employer branding campaigns just to sell their jobs to applicants, because it's really hard to find good qualified candidates and applicants, let's say in the Western world. So this is, or was for all the years, one of the biggest challenges. But what we discover right now is a big shift, a big transformation from that recruiting as a big challenge to retention, which means retain the people in the companies, retain them to the corporate culture. And this is a big challenge because we see a lot of demographic change all over the world. We see a lot of technology-driven change all over the world. And this will change the job market forever. This is, from my perspective, the biggest evolution in the labor market, the biggest evolution in HR, maybe for the last 50 years, but also for the next 50 years. And what is, let's say, the take-home message for employers? It's really to change their mindset from, let's say, the old-fashioned companies to a more employee-centric company, because we have to put the employee in the middle of all our HR work in order to remain competitive in the market. And now the question is there like a North Star metrics? How can I see as an employer, how can I see as a big company if we are already prepared, if we are ready for these challenges in the future of work? And I can tell you there is a big metric. There is a very famous metric, and it's the so-called ELTV metric. Maybe some of you guys are more familiar with the customer lifetime value. Actually, this is the same metric for employees, the employee lifetime value. And why is that so important for you guys? Why is it so important, especially for companies, especially for corporates? Because with that ELTV, you can see and you can really measure how successful you are with your HR work. So what you see, actually, it's very easy to understand, is two axes. You see a y-axis, which is more the output or the productivity of your employees, which you see on the left side. And you see on the x-axis, the time that the employee is spending in your company. And it's a little bit like in, let's say, in a dating world or in a love relationship. We want to have a partner that is willing to stay with us for a very long time, which is on the right side, but also which is willing to be adventurous, which is willing to be, let's say, passionate and do a lot of great stuff with us, which is more on the left side. And the combination of both of them, of both of the axes, of both of the dimensions, this is maybe the key to success. What you see, the area underneath that graph, this is the ELTV, the employee lifetime value. And what you have to understand is right now, which touch points can we identify, which moments that matter can we identify to have a positive influence on that ELTV, on that employee lifetime value. And this will drastically change in the next few years. And this is what I mean with future of work. But I don't want to be too much on theory. I want to show you some, let's say, very practical ideas and practical use cases. So the big question is right now, are you ready for the future of work? Because I want to prepare right now, or I want to present you right now 4 bold predictions for the future of work and show you what I mean by that. So the first one is you will no longer dictate HR, technology will. What I mean by that is the age of AI-driven human resources management already started, has already begun. What I mean by that is, especially when I talk about technology, what I mean by that is AI, artificial intelligence. And what we see is we are pretty used to algorithms. We are pretty used to machine learning, a lot of different disciplines in HR, especially in recruiting, just to call you, or just to give you one example for that. But what we see right now is a big development into what we call enhanced narrow artificial intelligence, which feels a little bit more advanced, which feels a little bit more human. And this is what you explore when you are using, let's say, ChatGPT, for instance, for HR, but also for your work life. I'm pretty sure all of you guys already discovered ChatGPT or borrowed some of the other big LLMs. But what I mean by technology is not only for corporates, it's also for candidates. And also candidates are pretty smart in using advanced technology, especially AI, for candidate purposes. I will just give you a short example for that. Hopefully you will hear the sound right now. If not, I will give you the context afterwards.
Aerospace engineering, such as in jet engines or spacecraft re-entry? How do you approach these challenges?
Let me think about it. In aerospace engineering, selecting materials for high temperature application. So first, I will approach the challenges in temperature resistance. So one of the main challenge is to find a material that can withstand extreme temperature in high temperature applications, right? So I'll prioritize those materials that have like high melting points and can maintain their structural integrity at elevated temperatures. There's another challenge I have concern is the heat transfer management. I will select the materials, have.
Okay, I think that this is already enough. What you see here is a typical remote job interview situation, a typical remote job interview setting. And you see on the left side, the interviewer, which seems to be a corporate interviewer. And what you see on the right side of the screen is a chat, a real-time communication chat, which is taking the speech from that interview, the questions from that interviewer, into that narrow-minded artificial intelligence chat, and which gives out as an output the perfect answers for that interview questions. So what you see is a quite interesting hack that already candidates can use right now to have maybe an unfair advantage in some of the job interviews. So it's not only on the corporate side that we are using AI for recruiting purposes, but also for the candidate side. This is a very good example that shows you what I mean by that.
Aerospace engineering.
Okay. Let's come to the next bold prediction, which is upgrading skills is not a choice anymore. It's a survival strategy. What I mean by that is very personal, to be honest, because as I already mentioned, I work for ESPRIT, which is one of the biggest fashion companies in the world. And what we see right there is that big fashion companies, also one of the most famous fashion companies, these companies are really fighting right now, fighting for survival. What I mean by that is retail, especially fashion retail, really have a lot of big challenges. You see that retail, the stationary retail has problems. We see a huge change in the behavior of customers. We see that technology advances all the time. And this is why we see that in this case, a lot of retailers, big retailers, are putting a lot of investments in digital goods. What started to be very gimmicky in games like Fortnite is reality right now. People are spending a lot of money in digital goods, let's say in digital shoes or digital fashion, to show that via social media and to show off a little bit of that. And this will be the future, the near future. And you see that Nike put a lot of huge investments in NFTs, but also Hugo Boss and some of the other fashion retailers. And the big effect on HR is that we have to change our labor market. We have to change our employees in terms of upskilling and reskilling, because it will be really hard. We used to look for fashion designers. Right now, we are looking for UI and UX designers, which is a complete different skill set, maybe a complete different mindset. And these UI and UX designers are not growing on the tree. So we need to reskill and upskill our people, our employees, and this will be one of the biggest challenges that we will see in the near future. The third bold prediction is people will no longer go to work, but the work will come to them. And this is maybe a very common mistake that people are thinking of, is that we are used to the flexibilization of work time and workspace. In terms of home office, for instance, let's take this. Before the pandemic, home office was more of an exception. So people were really fighting for home office settings. Right now, it's the new normal. And what a lot of companies or corporates really think is that this is the peak or the end of that development. But we don't see the end there, because home office and technology that is building around that, let's talk about Zoom that we are using right now, or MS Teams, Microsoft Teams, is lacking of collaboration features. So what we will see in the near future is new technology that is really focused on creating complete new work environments that are more immersive, work environments that feel more human. And this is a very famous example that I'm pretty sure all of you guys already saw. This is Horizon, a product by Meta, formerly Facebook, that shows already in which direction we are heading. And what started really gimmicky, and you see that on the resolution side, is developing in fast-paced in big steps. You see that on the right side. This was part of a podcast that Mark Zuckerberg gave with another guy, and you already see how realistic the avatars already are in this time of manner. And also other companies like Apple are investing huge money in the Vision Pro as hardware for these new work environments. So the metaverse will be one of the big developments, one of the big HR trends that we will see. Last but not least, the last prediction: culture will eat strategy for breakfast, but this time for real. What I mean by that is I remember times where we talked a lot about corporate culture. Corporate culture is so important for employee well-being, for employee satisfaction, and this is true, but nobody really took that very serious, because it's a very soft and a very it's very hard to grab. It's not really tangible. Culture is not really tangible. But we are forced right now to have a shift in that. Why are we doing that? Because there's a new generation starting to have access on the labor market, which is the Gen Z generation. I'm pretty sure all of you guys already had some touch points with them. And what the Gen Z is expecting from companies, from corporates, is completely different from what we knew from the generations before. So it's not only about job security. It's not only about a decent salary. It's more about cultural stuff. It's more about diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's more about a purpose-driven idea of work, about a meaningful work. It's about psychological safeties, psychological healthy in the work environment. So this will be one of the biggest trends. And if you want to compete, if you want to be part of that revolution, then you have to invest in diversity, equity, and inclusion, and not in terms of a greenwashing idea, in terms of employer branding, but in terms of a really bottom-up approach that we highly need if we want to attract the Gen Z generation, or the Gen Z employees. All right, what do I want to give you as a take-home message? Be brave. Be brave, because change doesn't come overnight. And if you maybe hesitate sometimes to change something, or to try new ideas, then be inspired by the startups that you will get to know today, because they already have the ideas. They already have the mindset and the drive that you are maybe highly needing in your companies. So be brave. Change doesn't come overnight, and be affected by these new ideas that are coming from these entrepreneurs and startups, because I started like that as well. Thank you so much. I hope I didn't talk too long, because I only had 10 minutes. I would highly appreciate if we would stay in touch. Just reach out to me on LinkedIn or YouTube or Instagram. And it was really a pleasure to talk in front of you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Benjamin, for your presentation. It was really an honor to have you over here today in our event. Your speech was very insightful and interesting for both HR professionals and all of us. Thank you for being here again. Now, let's look at our Focus Week startups. I will give the words to Oktay Azbazdar, who is in our ventures team. He's going to introduce our interesting startups. Oktay?
Thank you, Benjamin, and thank you, Elif. Before we get started, I'd like to thank our startup attendees, Cheryl, Emre, Aysegul, and Efe, as well as the Enerjisa team for joining us today. The future of work is a projection of how workers, and the workplace will evolve in the years ahead. It's a topic, that keeps many leaders up at night as they make decisions that enable their organizations to thrive today while they prepare for the future. In order to support confidently, inform the C-suite, where strategic decisions are made based on where the work of the world is heading, HR professionals and managers must be knowledgeable about how the future work will impact their workspace. Today, we will learn about this topic through the 4 startups founded by experts in this field, joining us from the US, UK, and Turkey. So without further ado, let us start with the startup introductions you've been waiting for. I would like to introduce you to Inclusology, which was founded in Los Angeles in 2018. Inclusology is an all-in-one DEI, so diversity, equity, and inclusion management platform built for a new way of working. And we'll hear more details from Dr. Cheryl Ingram, founder and CEO of Inclusology.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. All right, let's get these things started. Hello, everyone. I am in America currently, and it is 5 a.m. And I'm going to introduce you to Inclusology. Now, Inclusology has been built in order to build a more inclusive workplace for all people. Some of the problems that we help companies solve is that there's an issue with employee turnover due to unfairness. Usually that unfairness is managerial and is rooted in bias and discrimination. And the numbers are pretty clear to us. Mostly women, Black and Indigenous people of color, LGBTQ plus individuals, and people with disabilities, and also immigrants are having a hard time at work and leaving in substantial numbers, in record numbers, especially post-COVID. Now, my name is Dr. Cheryl Ingram, and I'm building a technology that is helping companies solve issues of employee turnover. I've been a serial entrepreneur. I've been doing diversity, equity, and inclusion for 23 plus years. I'm an advisor to many Fortune 1000, 500 companies, and even startups, including Xbox, Microsoft, Netflix, and more. Our startup's been nominated for Startup of the Year 3 years in a row. We've been featured in Forbes, GeekWire, and Microsoft publications. And we were also rated in the top 20 HR firms by the International Trade Company. Now, what does Inclusology do? So our methodology has been built on a number of global diversity, equity, and inclusion measurements. We use the Global Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Benchmark. We've used the Global Diversity and Inclusion Index, and we've also created our own matrix because what we really want to do is help companies solve issues of sustainability for diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. And so what we've created is this standard that helps companies measure and track their progress over time within our system. Now, how do we do that? When we say we're an all-in-one diversity, equity, and inclusion platform, what that means is we do everything DEI consulting does. So we do e-learning and certifications under a number of different topics in DEI. We run DEI audits and assessments. We also do DEI benchmarking to show you how you compare to other companies. And we also do what we call automated consultant, which means we create automated improved insights to tell you how to create long-term and short-term goals once we diagnose your issue in diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we also have consultants who will help you manage the process if and when you need additional DEI support, and they are subject matter expertise across a number of different areas. What does Inclusology look like? So in our platform, what happens is an employee, or it is usually run through a director of HR. And when you come into our platform, you do an automated assessment. Now we have automated assessments, we have assessments that you can customize, and we have highly recommended assessments, for example, depending on what our clients have used in the industry. We rank you across a number of different areas in diversity, equity, and inclusion. We provide e-learning once we've diagnosed what the issue is, both virtually and in person. And we show you the benchmark, which means we show you how you compare to other companies in the industry. And we give you an automated strategic plan based on your benchmarking. So you receive the full package when you purchase Inclusology. And here are some of the results that we've had. We've increased employee retention by an average of 75% within 12 months, meaning that we've been able to validate that we save companies up to $40,000 per employee in turnover fees. We also have improved DEI recruitment by 35% within the first 12 months that companies use our platform. We've also increased employee approval of leadership by almost 40%, and we focus on human resources, productivity, and wellness. Now, the average thing that we've decreased are discrimination complaints and also litigations by almost 15%. We've decreased the time leaders spend managing DEI issues, and we also have helped to decrease employee anxiety and tension at work. And we've measured all of that in a beta, which we were in for 4 years with 13 different companies, the largest company being 16,000 employees and the smallest company being 24 employees, and our averages still remain the same. Here are some of the companies that we've worked with, and we tend to partner with the head of HR or diversity officers. We tend to target industries like education, nonprofit, mid to large for-profits, airlines, and healthcare. But again, we work with companies no matter what size you are. And the barriers that have been faced by clients who come to us are usually they are trying to define how to create equity in an HR management. They have an unflattering image of the company. We help companies to rebuild their image by rebuilding their culture. If their DEI is a little outdated and they need some help with awareness, or you're finding that you are struggling measuring DEI in a sustainable way, and we do it all for our clients. Now, our sales motto is Inclusology is per employee per year. The average company spends about $200,000 per year on diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, training, et cetera. And we've been known to save our clients a lot of money because we charge you per employee per year, and you get a number of different accessibilities to all of our features in our platform based on what you feel your company's needs are. This is our team. I'm very proud to say I've built a really great team with a number of different expertise across diversity, equity, and inclusion. And they're here to work really hard for you. So join us in the journey to make your workplace more productive and all-inclusive. You can contact me at Cheryl@inclusology.com, and please feel free to go visit our website at www.inclusology.com. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cheryl, for sharing an overview of Inclusology, and especially for joining us this early in the day. As the next startup, I would like to introduce you to Ludi, which was founded in Istanbul in 2023. Ludi is a recruitment platform that allows young talents to find a job according to their skills via real job simulations. And we'll hear more details from Emre, co-founder of Ludi.
Hi, everyone. My name is Emre. I'm the co-founder of Ludi, which is a future of work startup. And today I'll briefly tell you about what we do. So let's get started. What's Ludi? Ludi is a platform school that connects early career young talent with employers through an educational product called job simulation. So when I say young talent, I mean all the university students plus recent graduates. And what is job simulation? So job simulation is similar to the case studies that we know, but the only difference is the job simulations are composed of real life tasks. So for instance, whenever a junior talent joins a company, whatever they do in the first or the second year in that role, so we take those tasks, package them under job simulations, and make them open and accessible online for all students. So the job simulations are online, can be done self-paced, and can be completed under approximately 3 hours, and it helps young talent to experience what that role in a specific company look like. So they learn by experience. So you can think of this as a 3-hour version of an internship at a company. So we work with the clients, with the employers, to prepare those job simulations and make them accessible for all students for free. So if a student can experience any role in any company, if it's our client, so they can join these simulations. So in Ludi, this is how we source the talent. And in Ludi, by doing those simulations, the students can upskill themselves by doing those simulations. And then, based on the task output, we assess them and help them place to the suitable roles within the companies. So in that sense, Ludi is an edtech platform for students, and it's an HR tech startup for the employers. And in order to make this system scalable, we utilize technology, especially generative AI, in three main areas. One is the simulation content creation, AI-driven simulation content creation. The other one is the skill assessment based on the task outputs of the students. And the third one is talent matching, matching the skills with the correct roles. So think of Ludi as like an umbrella business school, and at Ludi, we help each company create their own business school. And under this business school, there is a lesson, a course for each role, each junior role, which is available in that company, be it like a digital marketing specialist, finance expert, or production planning specialist, and so on. And these lessons, these courses are not delivered via any instructor. There are no traditional courses. These lessons are delivered via the job simulations that I've just mentioned to you. So if a student wants to experience a role, they join this simulation online without any application or selection process, and they can experience that role within that, well, approximately 3 hours. And they get personal feedback once they complete it. And if they are successful, they get a certificate. And while doing that for the students on the employer side, we use these simulations as a pre-hire skill assessment tool. So we basically check the motivation of the student. If they spend like 3-4 hours for that simulation, it means they are interested in that industry, that company, and that specific role. So motivation is checked. And also they are solving real life tasks specifically designed for that role. So we are basically checking if their skill set is suitable for that role. So skill assessment check, motivation check. And we use this profiling information and create a customized talent pool for the employers. So for instance, for any employer, if they want to fill up any position, they can now refer to their talent pool, which is directly created from the completed talent pool through those simulations specifically for that role. So what is the value proposition for the company? I mean, the student side is clear. So currently, the talent acquisition funnel for like a medium firm is like the one above. So do the employer branding so that the talent wants to work for you, and then open up a job position and source talent, screen them somehow so that you can have a meaningful number to have the interviews, do the interviews, and then once you hire, then basically you say, okay, you now have an academic background, but you are not trained for specifically for the business. Now I'm going to train you again. So, and this funnel starts with the job posting, and it should be discrete currently. And at Ludi, we are basically trying to disrupt current talent acquisition funnel. We say it shouldn't take like 2-3 months to fill a position for a young generation talent. In Ludi world, these interviews are still there. They still exist because at Ludi, we are not doing like 360 assessment as the companies do in their interviews. But all other 4 remaining buckets, I mean, employer branding, sourcing, screening, and training part, are done somehow in Ludi. So the talent can experience the employer brand while experiencing that role, like a minimal internship. They expose to the employer brand, so they might change their mind and want to work for that company. So employer branding part is there. We do the talent sourcing for the company. We do the screening basically directly on the real life job tasks, so that it gives us a better proxy if that talent can do better in that job. And also the talent can also experience the role and learn by doing. Like it's a similar version of on-the-job training. So while doing those tasks, the talent can upskill themselves. So all those 4 buckets are in Ludi, and the companies, what is the value proposition? By using this system, an employer now can first pre-skill the talent, and then they can acquire those pre-skilled and higher quality talent for faster and cheaper versus the current system. So let me briefly show you how it works. So I'm going to just take 2 more minutes and then finish. So let's say a young talent join the Ludi website, check the current simulations at our current clients. So checks the digital marketing, for instance, can join the digital marketing simulation at L'Oreal or growth hacker simulation at arabam.com, or like an associate consultant, management consulting simulation at Pieck & Company. Let's continue with Pieck & Company. So they might consider a career at Bain as a consultant. So join the simulation page, check the role if it makes sense, if they want to pursue a career in such a role. And then they check the simulation context. For instance, in this one, so there is a client, cryptocurrency exchange, and they are considering a potential market entry to Turkey. So if I join this simulation, we are going to be working on the due diligence project, and I'm going to be playing associate consultant role. Sounds interesting. Before I join, I check the task, what I'm going to be doing in that 3-4 hours. So first task is doing a market research, and then based on the findings, I'll prepare a couple of slides, and then I'll do a progress update to my manager. Sounds interesting. So I want to I want to do that simulation to see if that role fits for me. So I said login. If I didn't sign up, or if I have an account, I log in. And then the talent comes to our platform. So this platform is not an assessment platform. That's important. This is a learning experience platform. So I want to show a talent how working for that company, working for that role looks like. And in the meantime, I also want to educate them and onboard them for the company just before like all the hiring process starts. So it starts with like an onboarding. So for instance, in here, a Bain partner welcomes the talent, tells a little bit about the company, and then an HR professional or a manager of that specific role tells about the role itself. And then the task starts. For instance, the first task was market research. So the user get the brief from the case manager. So for instance, here Turgut says, okay, welcome to my team. In this project, we are going to be doing this and that. So these are the stuff that I'll be waiting from your side. And your first task, do this type of market research, and then prepare an Excel sheet consisting of this and that data, and then write a short email regarding your findings to me. And then it takes approximately around 1 hour or so. So those are the type of tasks. And in their simulation, the user completes these type of tasks, let's say in 3-4 hours, and then get a personalized feedback regarding the task output, and also if they are successful, got a certificate. And in the meantime, we assess those outputs and create a short list from the users that are motivated for that role, also that can show a skill set beyond a certain threshold level, so that the companies can create their own pool specifically for that role before hiring process start. That's also important part. So this is how it actually works. So we have been operating since the beginning of July this year. So these are the current clients that we are collaborating with. So we are working with Bain, L'Oreal, Domino's, and all others, Yetmobil, Arabam, and Dogma Leres. And if I got your attention on what Ludi does, so if you want to investigate further, you can just go and check our website at ludi.one. And also, if you want to part of Ludi platform as a client, and if you want to join us by the vision to fix education and recruitment together, you can just drop me a message at my email, my name.mysurname @ludi.one. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Emre, for sharing an overview of Ludi. It was great to hear where technology is taking us next. For our third startup, I'd like to introduce you to Moodivation, founded in Istanbul in 2021. Moodivation is a new generation AI-assisted platform for analysis, surveys, and feedback for people-oriented organizations. Aysegul, this co-founder and head of business development at Moodivation, will present their solutions.
Thank you very much for having us at this lovely organization. So I'm here to tell you guys more about what we do as Moodivation and how can we be help of capturing the future of work in your businesses. So there are 3.4 billion employees globally, and this number is around 30 million in Turkey. And Gallup, an American research company that is actually one of the biggest market research companies in the world, they revealed that the average disengagement rate in employees is now up to 77%. Now, globally, that makes 2.6 billion not engaged employees. And in Turkey, we are looking at 26 million employees. And the research actually continued with very significant results with disengagement and dissatisfaction at work. So actually, they found out that disengaged employees work with 25% decrease in their efficiency and performance. And companies with higher disengagement rates have higher turnover rates. Also, your onboarding costs are actually getting 3 times more higher than your competitors because you're struggling to find new talent. And if you have disengaged employees, which of course clearly doesn't help with the employer brand. And also there are many significant results such as customer dissatisfaction actually increases. You might be even lose your competitive advantage within your sector. So the research actually turns out that to turn things around, employee engagement and dissatisfaction, employee experience can be used as a driver to boost the performance and also increase the engagement. So what we mean by employee experience is actually all the other people were talking very nicely about the topics, all the experts, but to give a brief sum up, it starts from the recruitment process till the exit process. Whether if you have 50 employees or 10,000 employees, you provide a certain experience, and this experience affects your business results. For example, you might be finding it hard to find new talent, or you might be investing in your learning and development. You might be struggling with your exit processes. All these actually pillars of employee experience you need to be working on in order to increase the results. And of course, it's inevitable to use tech solutions. So we come up with a platform that is actually allowing you to improve employee experience and to increase the engagement of your people and to boost productivity as a result. And how we do that is we create these critical reports that show you what you should be focusing on, the drivers of engagement, and all the other processes that I talked about, for example, employee well-being, work efficiency, management assessments. So you can do all of these assessments and see the results on a single screen to increase your work efficiency. You might not be able to have a comprehensive understanding of what's going on in your company. So you need tech solutions such as Moodivation to get the clear picture of where you should be focusing on in order to improve the experience that you provide. And we show you detailed graphs. And for example, from onboarding to exit, you see the insights to accelerate your business results. You see why people are leaving, what actually attracts people to come work at your company. So you know where to focus on to build the employee experience. And the science behind the Moodivation technology, of course, we get references from Gallup, Gartner, and many of the global researchers and get the final trends on these reports. And we work with behavioral scientists and gender equality experts in creating the contents. We have AI-powered tools and we have conditional user flow. And our surveys and all the contents have been proven by more than 60,000 users. And of course, our founders and partners, the real experts on their fields who helped us with building our methodology and our user flows as well. So as you can see, we have many diverse partners. So as I mentioned before, from startups to Fortune 500 companies, we empower our clients' engagement performance, and you see different best cases we have with our current clients. And of course, we have many other leaders that trust us in doing so. And if you're interested in it, please feel free to contact me anytime. Thank you once again for having us here.
Thank you, Aysegul, for joining us. It was great to hear more about Moodivation. Now, for our final startup from London, Vire. Vire uses natural language processing based AI to analyze every sentence of job interviews, making recruitment highly efficient and transparent. I leave the stage to Efe Pazarceviren, CEO and co-founder of Vire, to hear more about their solutions.
Thank you very much for your time and invitation to here. This is Efe. I am the CEO and one of the co-founders of Vire. What we do at Vire is we help recruiters to identify the best candidates efficiently and transparently using our natural language processing-based solution. When I found my dream job on LinkedIn, I was hugely disappointed because I realized that 1,500 people applied to the same position. So basically, my chance of being seen was zero. I decided to do something about that problem. I realized it's not just the job applicants problem, but also recruiters must be struggling with that. So I did a little bit of research, and I found out that first of all, recruitment is a very, very expensive process. Average cost of hiring just one person is almost $5,000.
Efe, can you speak up a bit more? I know it's very loud in there.
Sure. Is it better now?
Yes, a bit better.
Okay, sorry about that. Because this is such an expensive process, the recruiters quite often lack the resources. So they cannot interview everybody, and just a fraction of the candidates can interview. And because it is expensive and because they cannot deep dive into all the candidates, they do mistakes very often, and it costs around $15,000 to correct just one bad hire. On top of that, there is complete lack of transparency in the process. No candidate gives feedback, and there is no justification of the hiring decisions, especially considering the global AI policy changes. This is going to be a big problem for a lot of companies. So Arda and I came together and we decided to develop a solution to that. So basically our solution was to interview all the candidates, eliminate the bias from the process, and hire the best. Now, how do we do that? So we developed a self-service job interview platform. When you first hear this, I'm sure you're saying another video interview platform. I heard that. It's very different. This is just the tip of the iceberg. So everything starts with creating customized questions for the recruiting employer. And as you can see, we just like putting Lego blocks together, we create the definition and expectations for each of the questions. So this is a customized question, customized criteria list for the recruiter. After that, all the questions are set, simple links are sent to all the candidates, and whenever they are available, candidates take the interview themselves. There's no need to supervise them, the system runs automatically. The questions are asked to them one by one, and they answer after doing some thought, so they don't need to feel under stress for this. So we capture their questions, but the video interview aspect stops there because what we do is we extract the transcript from the responses of the candidates. We do not worry about how the candidate looks like, what the gender is, what the skin color is. So this is removing all the visual bias from the process. And then after we collect all the inputs from the candidates, we analyze every single sentence based on what the customer is looking for. So for every single sentence in every answer, we analyze them using our natural language processing solution, and we compare the statements of the applicants with the requirements of the customer. As a result, all the candidates are sorted, ranked against each other, against recruiters' criteria, and we come up with an overall ranking. So this is not just the overall list, but you can also deep dive into every single candidate's response. So for example, for this candidate, you can see that we can analyze every single sentence. We point out exactly which criteria is coming from which statement. So there's perfect justification of the hiring recommendations, and the process is fully explained. This is very different from most of the AI solutions in the market because most of the AI solutions work like a black box model. Data comes in, something magical is supposed to happen inside it, and we don't know what happens, but we ask to trust that. But in our case, you see exactly from which interview sentences conclusions are drawn. So this is perfectly explained. So we use our technology for more than job interviews. So for example, you can analyze the spoken English competence of the candidates. We look into the sentence structure, fluency, vocabulary, and quite soon we will also look into the pronunciation quality. So this can automate the language assessments as well. So if you go back to the recruitment aspect, the total cost of recruitment can be done less than half, and you can interview instead of 2% of the candidates up to 100% of the candidates because of the automation, because of cost savings, because of efficient capacity. And finally, we can give individual feedback to every single applicant. I think that's a massive game changer for all recruiters because this is important for employer branding. It is important to justify the decisions. Why no is a no, why yes is a yes, and what can do better next time. We had a great success with our first customer, Metro. As most of you know, they're a German retailer, but we run this in their operations in Turkey. In this specific instance, we interviewed more than 500 people. Of course, this was for a very prestigious early talent program for them. But the results were fascinating. They increased the candidate throughput. They analyzed candidates 6 times. Despite that, we reduced the lead time less than half, less than 50% of it. And we not only made the recruiter very happy, but also we got very positive responses from the candidates. So they got on average 4.6 stars out of 5 from the candidates involved. As a result, Metro is now using our service for several positions, lots of positions actually, and not only for job for recruitment activities, but also for employee satisfaction surveys as well. So we are using the same platform, same technology for employee satisfaction survey analysis. So it's not just Metro. We are working with quite a few customers now, especially our first funding round early this year. We increased the number of customers quite rapidly. So on top of Metro, we are working with Alarco and another group. But recently, we also added brands like Coca-Cola, Turkish Airlines, Domino's, and Pladis. As you know, Pladis is the company that owns brands like Godiva, McVitie's, and United States. And there are quite a few other companies in the pipeline that are in different stages of either piloting or signing contracts, such as MediaMarkt, another pharma company, Turkish pharma and defense company, and other businesses as well. So what makes us different is mainly 2 things. So these are some of the other players that you can see in the market, active in the video assessments segment of the market. So first of all, our recruitment process is highly cost-effective. We can convert what the recruiter wants to ask into our actual interviews, and we literally act like a force multiplier to the recruitment teams. We can increase their capacity 10 times, more than 10 times. So this is to replicate one-to-one interviews at an industrial scale. So from candidate point of view, we can provide the feedback to every single answer, which is a massive advantage because especially considering the talent acquisition challenges that have become a more and more important feature of the market, that's another important aspect. This is important for the candidates to know what went wrong, how to do better, and they know that they are taken seriously. It's not just another video interview. So specifically on the feedback front, these are some of our major competitors, and you can see how we compare against them. So some of them do simple keyword analysis, or they do partial individualized feedback, but our analysis is on a sentence level. We can interpret individual sentences. We are not bound by simple keywords. So we have various subscription models depending on the volume of the customer. We assign them a total annual capacity, and we split this into monthly fixed payments. So this is the subscription model. So depending on your volumes, you can have conversation, you can create a specific model for you as well. And for enterprise, for really high volumes, you can come up with a more customized solution for your needs. A little bit about us. And so Arda and I know each other since more than 25 years. We've been together. I went to corporate life, worked at office like Ford, KPMG, did my MBA at Harvard Business School, whereas Arda did his master's and PhD in the natural language processing, which is basic AI technology. We are blessed with several advisors in HR and B2B space, and we have this fantastic dynamic team that we hired after our first investment round. So they are based in different parts of Turkey, and they are helping us develop the product and complete business level. Thank you very much for your time and patience.
Thank you very much, Efe, and joining us today all the way through Helsinki/.
Pleasure.
And you're welcome. And I would like to thank all startups joining us today, and I'm gonna wishing them a good luck with their new collaborations. So, closing our Future of Work webinar on a high note, I'm excited to present dynamic panel discussion featuring two amazing panelists. Tümay Solak, People and Culture Process Leader and our Innovation Champion from Enerjisa, and Hüseyin Eleman, the co-founder of Selfweller, formerly known as a bee therapist. Selfweller is a self-therapy application developed in mental health category, featuring therapeutic protocols for the resolution and psychological and emotional issues. Our discussion today explores the intersection of innovation, corporate collaboration, and technology's transformative role in mental health. Let's start with a brief introduction of our panelists, and then I will pass the stage to Tümay to ask his questions. Afterwards, Hüseyin will talk about Selfweller as well. Tümay, please go ahead. You can introduce yourself, please.
Thank you, Elif. Hi, everyone. So my name is Tümay, and I'm working as an innovation leader at Enerjisa, so where we run programs in corporate entrepreneurships and the open innovation program. So I would like to express my gratitude to the Plug and Play team for inviting me today in the panel. So now I'm handing over the Selfweller team for their presentation. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for this invitation. Let's start. Today, I'm excited to introduce you to Selfweller, an innovative solution to the challenges posed by the modern world. Selfweller aims to improve lives by providing easy access to mental health services. I want to highlight the low access to mental health services globally and in Turkey. Underlying this issue are sub-problems like stigma, high costs, time and accessibility issues, and the lack of qualified professionals. Selfweller focuses on key issues like privacy, affordability, time, and scientific knowledge to meet users' mental health needs. Selfweller is a self-therapy app offering personalized audio sessions powered by algorithm and AI. This provides users with an accessible and easy therapy experience. Our app guides users through a personal journey, offering steps like therapy selection, self-awareness, session listening, and task application. The therapy content, aligned with a scientific ethical framework, ensures ethical use of data and respect for user privacy. In the mental health marketplace, this approach positions the platform as a competitive and user-centric solution. Technologically, it leverages advanced algorithms for personalized content delivery, resonating well within the mental health community for its tailored support. We assess the potential and growth opportunities of our target markets with data on global and Turkish markets. Our analysis reveals a substantial global target audience of 970 million, indicating vast potential for expansion and impact. In Turkey, a specific target audience of 29 million offers a significant opportunity for localized growth and market penetration. Thanks to Selfweller's unique features and strategic partnerships, we hold a significant competitive advantage in the market. Our revenue model is based on free app downloads and a freemium approach within app purchases. This model is flexibly designed to meet user needs. I would like to inform you about our achievements so far and our plans for the coming period. Our current agreements and development plans support Selfweller's continuous growth. Finally, I want to introduce our talented and experienced team that brought this amazing app to life. Each member is an expert in their field, and they are driving the force behind Selfweller's success. Thank you for your attention. If you would like more information about Selfweller, please visit our website or contact us directly. You can download the app by the scanning QR code provided here. Thank you again.
And thank you, Hüseyin. So we are joined by Selfweller, and also we have just experienced the fantastic presentation. I truly believe in their venture and now, so I'm eager to ask some questions to get know more about your startup.
Yes.
The first question is the user privacy and security. So how does Selfweller protect user privacy, and what measures are taken to ensure data security?
Yes, we focus on protecting user privacy and securing data in the Selfweller app with a strong security framework to ensure this. After a certain period of time, we anonymize personal data to increase privacy. We also use intrusion detection systems to protect against malicious activity. And we place high importance on adhering to GDPR regulations to further safeguard user information.
Thank you for your answer. So this is my second question, is about more technological and algorithm side. So how does the applications algorithm and the AI support work? So how do these technologies more improve and therapeutic processes?
The application uses voice cloning AI support to call users by their names. Its algorithm provides personalized recommendations based on the answer given by the users. All these personalization processes contribute to a better therapeutic experience for users.
Well, so this question is more about your market analysis and competition. So what are the Selfweller's main target markets and the biggest challenges faced in this market? So how is competitor analysis conducted, and how does Selfweller differentiate itself from its competitors? By the competition slide.
Yes, our target markets are North America and Asia Pacific countries. The main challenge in these markets is the presence of strong competitors. When analyzing the competition, we considered the variety of therapies and technological innovations. Selfweller is differentiated from its competitors by its ability to produce personalized sessions and its AI feature.
Thank you for your answer. So next question is about more experience and the feedback. So how satisfied are users with the services provided by the app? And also, what is the role of the user feedbacks play in the product development?
The self-help experience offered by the app is highly regarded for its functionality by users. Throughout its development, we incorporated feedback from both users and experts. This led us to focus on delivering content that is straightforward and easy to understand.
Yeah, thank you. So next question is about the in-app purchases and also your revenue model. So how does the freemium model in-app purchase strategies work? So how does your long-term revenue model ensure with your sustainability for your product?
There is a lot of self-therapy content in the app, and we utilize any purchase model, allowing users to select the personal therapy they prefer. We plan to transition to a monthly premium model in the future, aiming to offer lower access costs and generate recurring revenue for sustainable business growth.
Thank you. The next question is about your partnerships and more strategic alliance. So can you provide some information about the collaborations with mental health professionals and other healthcare experts? So how does these partnerships added value your startup?
We cooperate with expert healthcare professionals for consultancy services and content production, ensuring our content is scientifically grounded. This approach, combined with strategic influencer marketing, further increases users' trust in the application by broadening our reach and credibility in the wellness community.
Thank you. Now we are talking about your future plans and your expansions. And next question is, so what are the company's growth and the expansion plans for the next 5 years? So how will strategies for entering new markets be shaped?
Our app, grounded in international psychological theories, is primed for swift entry into the global market. For localization and translation, we are set to offer our services worldwide. With plans for rapid expansion into the North American and Japanese markets in 2024, we are also strategically positioning ourselves to meet user exit objectives, which include potential acquisition by larger medical or health tech companies, leveraging our unique content and global applicability.
Thank you for your answer. And so how many active users you currently have, and what is your market share, your startup?
Having been on the app markets for approximately 1 month, our application has already attracted over 2,000 users. In 2024, we aim to expand our user base in Turkey to 30,000. To achieve this, we plan to focus primarily on B2B marketing, influencer marketing, and expert recommendation strategies.
Yeah, thank you. And last but not least, inspiring questions about your technological developments and your innovation side. So what new features or the technological innovations are planned in the future versions for your app?
In the second quarter of 2024, we will develop an AI chatbot trained in the field of psychology that provides voice responses. In 2025, we will offer online therapy to the audience within the app. Then we will make the whole app AI-enabled.
So this is my last questions about. Thank you for your answers, all of the answers, and thank you for your attention and the participation for this event. And also, Elif.
Thank you. Thank you, Tümay and Hüseyin. I'm sure AI support and personalization features are really, really important. After your presentation, I believe that lots of people will contact you as a B therapist. Congratulations for your invention. And thank you very much for joining today to our event. This panel was our last agenda item for today, marking the conclusion of our meetup. Thank you all for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the content. You can stay updated on our upcoming events by checking our website and subscribing Plug and Play newsletter. Or you can always reach to us as a Plug and Play Istanbul team. Looking forward to seeing you at our next event. Have a great evening.